Today's episode is a bit special. A very talented singer-songwriter who's been dominating the streaming charts, global charts everywhere with his song Nadania. Akshat has been my favorite for a very long time. But today, before we head to the studio, I want to challenge him for a game of chess.
But if since you don't play often, you take the white side. Is it? Because white starts has a little bit of an advantage.
जितना भी advantage देते मेरे को फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा.
So I would say focus on bringing more pieces out. So ये तुम यहाँ लेके आए हो, and it's a good place to be. You're like controlling all these squares.
Right.
So अभी तुम्हारा ये हिला नहीं, so you might as well get this out somehow.
Oh, right.
पूरा grandmaster तो 10 step आगे था.
Checkmate. Checkmate होगा.
कहाँ जाएगा फिर?
I won at life, not at chess. Grandmaster जी.
So Akshat, this is sounds good for you. Welcome.
Look good, dude. Nice studio, I like it.
Looks good. Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Crazy यार, तुमने तो हालत खराब कर दी चेस के मैच में. So
जानबूझ के किया था. Intimidation game.
हाँ. But yeah, I got a lesson from Akshat. I'll directly go into congratulating you on Nadania.
Thank you so much.
You know, like it's very revolutionary for me personally. Like abhi I want to somehow represent the independent scene in India, and you taking it globally with your songs, you know, hitting charts, viral charts, global ye wo sab, and you corrected my facts earlier saying 100 million तो खाली YouTube पे है.
इतना कॉकीली तो मैंने नहीं बोला था.
नहीं
Just
मैं
want to
बता
make
रहा
it
हूँ
clear.
मैं बता रहा हूँ कि 100 million is just YouTube. It's what 56 million streams on Spotify
Yeah.
and some 1 billion on your YouTube audio somewhere.
Yeah, the shorts views.
Yeah,
YouTube shorts.
crazy scene, man. And how does it feel? Does it like give you more power into working more, or how is it?
Bro, so I don't think the motivation for working has changed because it was never like there was never a lack of that in any respect ever. I am, like I was telling you, I am a fairly data wala person.
Yeah.
Okay, to a fault almost. So that way was an amazing journey to just see how the song grew. It was an amazing. There were so many great moments I've had with like people I work with and all, where I'm just talking to them about, you know, you're analyzing कि ये क्यों हुआ, ये कब हुआ, इसका inflection point क्या था, कैसे हुआ,
Right.
all of that, which is something typically I don't think artists care about or are supposed to care about. An
Correct.
artist is
I told
supposed
you
to be-
earlier, yeah. Ki
Yeah.
I've not met a lot of people who go into data so much.
Yeah. And I
Like-
feel like it's something they're shamed to do also, where it's like, oh, you're an artist, just care about the art and this and that,
Ah,
which used to be like a conflict for me also for quite a while. Ki,
Okay.
should I be like that? Should I just focus on the art and not
Right.
care about anything else? But then I think, I mean, we have to live in the real world.
Right. So you're saying
So-
at one point you were a person who would be, हाँ मेरा art मैं बनाऊंगा and numbers will be later on.
Bro, so I was like that, but I was at a point when I was making music not for a living. So I was in college. और मैं बस अपने लिए बना रहा था गाने और अपने कुछ दोस्तों को impress करने के लिए बना रहा था, but nothing more than that. Like I didn't
Nice.
have a viewpoint beyond that. I never thought about it as a career. I did not know about this space that exists in India that is outside of, and I don't even think it existed much
Correct.
3 years back. It's grown a lot in the last 3-4 years.
Yeah.
So it existed, but it was just beginning. तो तभी मेरा thought process ही नहीं था वैसा. So I was just like, I was learning production, I was learning composition, I was learning lyric writing. So in that process, I was just making music, releasing music, getting a few compliments from my friends and from family and everything, and that was more than enough for me at that time.
Damn. So you've trained musically?
Not really. Like I did, मतलब बचपन में गया था मैं कुछ महीने, but that's about it. I want to, but
Yeah.
I haven't.
When you say you were in college, मतलब you have a degree in something.
In engineering.
You're an engineering student.
Yes.
in what specifically?
IT engineering.
Oh भाई
Yeah.
crazy.
Have you done that?
नहीं भाई मैं BMM स्टूडेंट हूँ.
Because अगर तुम मेरे को IT engineering के बारे में कुछ पूछोगे
हाँ.
तो मेरे को कुछ नहीं आता.
नहीं
But
नहीं मैं पूछ
degree
भी
है.
नहीं पाऊंगा. मैं
अच्छी
पूछ
बात
भी
है.
नहीं पाऊंगा. नहीं, but I'm glad कि over the years, like obviously guitar is your like a primary instrument,
Yeah.
I would say, right? And keys sometimes.
Keys primary तो नहीं बोलूँगा, but मतलब I mean as a producer, keyboard is essential to just producing. You use the
Correct.
MIDI to
Arrangements.
control. Yeah. So.
Nice. You've been touring, right? अभी भी चल रहा है कि like how
नहीं
is
अब the flesh of the tour is done अभी तो
अच्छा.
बस. There are few shows still left and that we're continuously doing. But जो actual tour था that's
right.
done.
That was India tour.
Yeah.
है ना? And this was after Nadania.
After Nadania.
है ना?
Right.
You did obviously a lot of shows before Nadania also. Difference क्या पता चला?
Difference, there definitely has been one.
Yeah.
And there's definitely an you see a lot more keener of an audience now. And you see, so when the tour started I was a little skeptical कि क्या होगा, कैसे होगा, how's the crowd going to react,
Right.
what is it going to be like, what kind of a set list should I have.
So
all these thoughts that come to your head when you have one song that has done so much more than all your other music.
Correct.
Right? But what I was very pleasantly surprised about was when I'm going to perform, there are people who are singing the entire set list with me. So they know Jadoo, they know Sahare, they know Saza. So they know all this music as well.
Nice.
So then that was a very refreshing thing for me and a very heartwarming thing for me.
Yeah, because I'm sure that first show after Nadania, you would have, thought ki
Yeah. Bunch of thoughts.
So many things. You get nervous even today? Nahi, abhi nahi.
Nahi, mera, just before going on stage, I have this like, that obviously, you kind of think about stuff. वो एक होता है. But so when I perform with my band, we start with a song called Noor.
I know.
And Noor, bro, so the actual song is you've heard the song,
Yeah.
right? But our live version is almost like a prog rock version of the song.
Wow.
So it has like a 2-minute intro, which is just keys and drums and guitar and bass.
I want to see you live now.
Yeah, bro, you should come. It's an experience, and I'm saying that not because of what I do, but because of what my band does.
Right.
I feel like they are probably one of the most talented bunch of people that I know.
Incredible.
So when they start that 2-minute intro, so now because I'm used to listening to that automatically puts me in like one headspace where I just lock in. So when then they are playing that, I'm usually off stage when that starts. So that starts and then like that just puts me in the zone. So then I'm good to go.
Crazy. That's how you start.
Yeah.
And what is your last song?
So we have a song called Kya Ho Gaya.
Okay.
And our last 3 songs are like full rock. It has guitar solos. There's one like synth solo in one song.
Yeah.
The energy is mad. So we finish all of that and that's how we finish the set. More often than not, we then get a request to do Nadanya one more time. So then we incorporate that.
Crazy. By this time, तुम्हें sing करने देते नहीं होगे Nadanya.
हाँ. But good, ऐसा ही चाहिए.
Yeah, that's nice. But abhi after touring, like it's like a small break or how is it?
Yeah, so for me, I feel like so if I look at my career and in terms of what I'm doing, right? So touring is one aspect, but you're making music is the primary thing. And that's what's been with me forever, right? Correct. So like I was telling you, when I started out, there was no vision in mind. There was nothing. I was just making music when I had free time from college. So तब से लेके अभी तक that's what has been there as a constant with me, which is me being in my studio, isolated from the world, just making my own music. So I feel like that's what I hold closer to me. So touring is great and it's fun. I love it. But then when I'm back in the studio is when I'm
so you do isolate, like differentiate between both of these, because काफी लोग को ऐसे होता है कि टूर खत्म होने के बाद एकदम खाली लगता है.
हाँ, वो एक feeling
है नहीं
है. But I just enjoy the music making side of things so much that when I'm back home, that's what I love to focus on. So then that takes up all my time.
That's nice, yeah. To mention, you recently worked with some of my favorite artists, Jonita, Rajan, obviously. I'm a huge fan of his vocals, and a very celebrated producer of Value. I love his production.
Right.
How is it working with like obviously when you started you didn't imagine yourself working with these people.
Not at all.
And today like you're working with them, you have songs with them. Like I saw that video where Jonita joined you on the stage and you did the live version.
I joined Jonita on stage.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
Okay. That's nice.
Yeah.
So how is that? Like
So luckily I feel like I have had the good luck of just coming across just wonderful artists. I mean, I've always known they're good artists, but they're wonderful humans. That is a very important factor, because in all of this you're making music finally.
Correct.
So if you don't gel, like for example, if we are making music but I'm not sure what you think of me, or you're a little bit rude,
Right.
whatever, तो मैं गाने बना रहा हूँ, मैं ये भी सोच रहा हूँ तुम क्या सोच रहे हो मेरे बारे में, तुम क्या सोच रहे हो कि मैंने ये लिखा, तुम क्या सोच रहे हो कि ये क्या लिख रहा है, वैसा है क्या, then I will not come out with good ideas, neither will you, then it doesn't work. So thankfully that has never been the case. Everyone I've worked with, they're all Rajan, Jonita,
Yeah.
Rovalio, they're all such nice people कि वो बहुत ही easy हो जाता है to make music. It feels like you're just working with a friend.
That's nice, man. How about your teen years? Like you're what 24 now. What were you doing 10 years ago?
What was I 10 years ago? I was
You were 14. Yeah.
14 मैं mostly मार खा रहा था because I was not doing well in studies at all.
Bro, I always assumed you to be like those ace people
No,
from
bro,
the...
not at all.
नहीं?
I was good at fooling my friends कि bro मैंने अच्छा score किया है and I'm
अच्छा,
come off
ऐसा.
as intellectual,
Okay.
but my actual scores were not good. और मैं मार तो नहीं खाता था, it's not like that, but yeah, school was not like, you know, people talk about how I wish I would go back to school days and everything. I love this so much more than school. I don't want to go back. I'm glad to.
Can
be
I call you an introvert in school?
It's not about introvert, bro. It's the shitstorm that comes your way when you're not a good student. You have like teachers against you. You have these like there is this like hierarchy that forms within your classmates based on marks. You have your parents who are like putting pressure on you कि भाई पढ़ ले please, कुछ कर अपनी जिंदगी के साथ.
Right.
Then my sister is like very good at studies.
Yeah. You have an elder sister.
I have an elder sister, and she was setting the benchmark and I was performing way below it every time. So all of that kind of gets to you, and tabhi I did not know about these words, anxiety,
Right.
hypertension, all of this I've never heard of before. So I'm just feeling this, my heart is always throbbing, I'm always like, I'm having this weird feeling to go to school because I'm like, shit, aaj results aayenge, aaj wo hoga, ye hoga. I don't know what it's called, but now when I look back, I'm like, damn, I was really anxious at that time.
Correct.
Because I mean, it's a byproduct of school, I guess.
Yeah. So you don't want to go back to school.
Also, it comes to I think it also is because of the fact that now I'm doing something I love, which is something I'm very privileged to get to do. A lot of people don't get to do that. So
what does your sister think now what you're doing?
Oh, everyone is very happy, loving it, all excited. So that's been going great.
You've got good support from your family.
Amazing support.
With music.
Amazing. So when I was in college, my initial plan was to do an MBA. Like any Indian kid, you do engineering and you do MBA. Somewhere along the line, I started releasing this music and they were a little impressed by that. Then there was this, without mentioning any brand or anything, there was this like all India competition that I had just come across on Instagram.
Okay.
Which was you submit your music and all. If you win, you get a cash prize. And your music will come out with the label. And for me, all of this was, I had never earned any money because I was in second year in college. And I had never worked with the labels. So this was like, whatever, let's try. So I have a song called I Don't Mind, which I had just sent as a submission. And out of nowhere, I got selected and then I won and then I earned cash prize.
You won the competition?
Yeah. So it was like a all India thing. So there were like 5 winners. So I was one of them.
Crazy, man.
So ye sab hua. So then my father was like, okay, you know, maybe he can do something in this field. Like there is probably something. So wo hua. Then Instagram I used to post covers tabhi. And Reels was new. तो उस पे भी थोड़ा ट्रैक्शन आने लगा था एंड ऑल, एक दो भी कवर्स वायरल हुए थे वगैरह. सो देन हिज माइंड शिफ्टेड फ्रॉम लाइक ओके ही शुड बी डूइंग एमबीए टू कि यू नो आई विल फील बैड, लाइक ही विल फील बैड इफ he doesn't see me at least give a good try for this, because he's like, okay, Akshat is interested and there seems to be something that he is getting right. So then he only later came to me and he's like, you know, you should probably give this a go if you're interested.
Crazy.
And see how it goes. And then since then it's been going well.
Yeah. But to sum it up, he got his first paycheck from music.
Yeah.
है ना?
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
So.
And तभी you were planning MBA and all that.
Correct. So it's all, amazing. I feel like it's all written, laid out for me.
It's all laid out. What did you grow up listening to, music-wise? Like,
I have a very specific set of artists and albums that I'd listen to, because we had like some 7 CDs at home of albums, and I used to just listen to that on loop. So there's this rock band called Bon Jovi. I'm sure you've heard of them. So they had an album called Have a Nice Day. So that album is one thing.
Oh, I still remember that smiley.
Yeah,
The music video is crazy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's ingrained in my head.
Yeah.
So that is one. Then there's an artist called Craig David,
Okay.
who is this hip hop R&B artist.
Okay.
So he has an album which I used to listen to all the time. So yeah, so there's और दो तीन है. Pink Floyd is one of them I was telling you.
Right,
I have been
right,
listening
right.
to quite a while. It used to be a little more casual. Now this thing. Linkin Park.
Let's go Linkin Park.
Meteora, Hybrid Theory, मतलब वो बचपन से वो
Yeah.
तो it's ingrained in me. And a lot of 2000s का Bollywood film music
Yeah.
has.
I was actually about to ask you कि
Hmm.
हिंदी में
Hindi
Bollywood
means
में
Bollywood, like big time, the the typical KK,
Yeah.
Atif Aslam,
Nice.
that era of music, Mohit Chauhan. उसी से
right. Like if like I'm sure you have your own playlists. कि अभी कोई song from the 2000s कुछ रहेगा तो क्या होगा like in your playlist?
like one song if I had to.
One song, yeah, कुछ.
I can have two.
Okay.
Because they're just so varying and and it's very random. One is Beete Lamhe.
Wow.
There is, you remember the song?
Of course.
It starts with that key of that and then there is some
very subtle,
like there's some voicing of the chord in which it starts, and the moment that plays I feel like I'm transported somewhere. So that is one. And the other one in the complete opposite end of the spectrum is a song called Ya Ali. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Oh, and both of them is Imran Hashmi song.
Both of them are Imran Hashmi songs.
Imran Hashmi had like a whole
he had an era. Dude,
era.
So Ya Ali, I used to always enjoy, but then when I started like getting into music, फिर मैंने उसको analytically सुना.
Okay.
वो एक गाने में there is Spanish guitar, there is Qawwali, there is Hindi pop. There's like some 5 genres.
Violins are there.
Violins. There is like a guitar, like an acoustic guitar solo.
Correct.
It's a combination of like 5 different genres.
Yeah.
And it sounds so good. So
and those days songs used to have like a long interlude section जहाँ पे सिर्फ music बज रहा है, सब मजा आ रहा है.
तभी there is no like optimizing for reels ना. It is just make good music. So
God, this I don't know. It's a changed world for music. This era that we're living in. Okay. Let's move on to a side of Akshat that people don't know.
Okay.
Is there a side? Because
Yeah,
I know you're very active on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's majorly about you singing, you're doing covers. Not covers anymore.
Covers to no.
पहले करते थे. I scrolled down.
Yeah.
So I saw. But now it's majorly about your songs.
Yeah.
And your interaction with audiences. Live shows है. But अभी ये point आ गया कि you can't show all of your life on Instagram.
Correct, yeah.
So is there a side?
I mean, there definitely is. I feel like there's a lot more nerdier of a side of me.
Yeah.
It's not that I hide it on purpose, but I don't see any relevance of, or I don't see an outlet to kind of like show it. Like for example, chess. है ना? So I'm playing all the time. वो एक हो गया. Most of the content that I consume is also either it's like some like space related, history related.
What are you saying?
Yeah, so just always watching this kind of. So I have a lot of, and it's just out of interest.
Yeah.
It's just something that I really enjoy watching.
Damn.
So
I watch a lot of Neil deGrasse.
Yeah,
you know that guy.
Tyson, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah. Very interesting space astronomy
it's
stuff.
Very interesting. Yeah. It's mind blowing.
So that's you're a different person apart from music.
Very.
Research हो गया. Yeah.
Just काफी.
Very curious person, I would say. है ना? And is that also the reason you're so digged into numbers with your analytics?
Could be, honestly, could be.
You're trying to figure out, इसको मैं crack करूँगा.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I have this very like, as hustly as it sounds, as hustle culture, scammy as it sounds. I'm not like telling anyone to do this. It's just something I find myself doing out of interest, which is just this very, I can hack it sort of a approach to things.
Right.
Which is not to say कि I know like there's one formula to get success.
हाँ,
like,
वो figure out तो कभी नहीं होगा.
वो तो कभी नहीं होगा. But अभी like I keep looking back at this journey in a very mathematical sense. कि okay, what was it about the song that worked? What was it about the way I marketed it that worked? Or for some other song, what did not work? What could I have done differently? कौन से point पे कहाँ आता है? Saves to मतलब वो streams to listeners क्या ratio है? वो कब बढ़ा कब घटा? मतलब all this rubbish I'm always.
Is there a notebook that we will ever see in future कि इसको भी जमा करेंगे हम लोग museum में रखेंगे?
मेरे पास you know the app Notion.
Yeah.
I use it. I use that and I jot down a lot of
Hi, it's one of the most used app for me
Yeah.
also for productivity. It's got tables.
Yeah, it's
क्या क्या नहीं है उसमें
beautiful.
सब कुछ है. Crazy. You have like for me, it's my mom, emotional support person. Like always, if I'm stuck somewhere, I'm gonna call her. Even if she doesn't understand shit about algorithm, Instagram, my work, just tell her कि ऐसा ऐसा हुआ है. तो समझ नहीं रहा है. She'll give me random stuff and I'll believe it. I'll just feel fine about it. You have an emotional support person in your life.
Yeah, I would say luckily I think I have like 4 or 5.
Wow.
So 3 are just like my mom, my dad, and my sister. My sister currently lives she lives abroad, but if like things are just like I'm just not able to figure things out, or I'm just like I'm just don't have an answer at all.
Right.
Then we have these like long conversations where I explain everything to her कि देखो ये हुआ था तो ये हुआ तो ये हुआ तो ये हुआ अब आप बताओ मैं क्या करूं. And then she speaks to me the way she speaks to me. She's able to, there is this balance between emotion and logic.
Correct.
Which I feel like she gets like bang on every time. So then she comes to me with this kind of a solution that I would never think of. And I mean, that has helped me out countless times. So sister would be, I think, at the top of that.
Yeah. And what about professional support, career wise? Well, something very, very technical that something your sister couldn't probably help you out with.
For that, like
You have a mentor in life.
I have a couple of them.
Nice.
Yeah. So Raghav Meatel,
Yep.
he was the first person I spoke to from this industry ever. We were still in college, and he had scouted me somehow. So he had just messaged me, ki, let's talk and all. And then for a good year we spoke, where randomly in intervals and all. So iske beech mein I released Duriyan, which was my first Hindi song, and everything. So like I was telling you, I'd never thought of it in any other way, but गाना बनाना है जो मुझे पसंद है मैं बनाऊंगा. But he kind of instilled that way of thinking where think beyond.
Correct.
Look, if you're writing this song, think about the scenarios you would write it in. Think about like there's a full dimension to music making that I had never come across. So Raghav really kind of opened that up for me.
Yeah, I think Raghav has been a helping saint like a person for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And मुझे बहुत बाद में पता चला कि he's not just an artist, he's doing so much work beyond that. And
now I think artist is secondary for him.
Yeah, it was incredible. Yeah, I wish he makes more music now.
Yeah, that's needed.
Okay, I have few set of pointers that we could both share opinions on. I would love to hear what you say about it. Musicians turning into content and meme creators for the sake of numbers and reach and audience.
Yeah.
What do you have to say? Is it necessary? Is it?
What is your opinion?
अभी मेरे को पहले बताना है. मेरे को लगता है necessary.
I agree.
Because firstly, you're hopping onto a medium, a free medium of promotion and marketing. It's not like the olden days that you have to buy a billboard, TV spot खरीदना इतना महंगा है. Instagram is so free.
Yeah.
And it has its own algorithm, its way of trying to put yourself out. You have to follow it. If you don't follow it, you don't get the numbers.
So I feel like if you don't want to do it, that's fine. Like it's up to you. You don't want to do it, you don't do it.
Right.
Don't have unrealistic expectations of what it can do or what your song can do or what it won't do. But I don't think you should, there is this people who kind of like look down on people who are pushing their own music. That I don't agree with at all.
There are people like that?
Yeah, it's like, or more than looking down, it's like, why are you doing it? Like, it's not your job.
So pushy types.
A label should be pushing your music. Okay. You shouldn't be doing it. Or, XYZ management should be doing it. Why are you doing it? Your job is just to make the music. Okay. Which I don't agree with at all.
Right.
And the second thing is, I think it's just about how much power are you keeping in with yourself versus external factors. So, if I'm releasing a song और मैं कुछ भी नहीं करूँ, एंड कल अगर वो चल भी गया गाना फुल, मेरे हाथ में तो कुछ भी नहीं था, शायद किसी एक और आदमी ने एक रील बना दिया, वो वायरल गया तो गाना हिट हुआ. Correct. या कहीं प्ले हुआ या कोई प्लेलिस्ट में गया वहां से हिट हुआ फिर वायरल हुआ. None of this is in my control. So then that means I can release 20 songs, maybe 5 of them will become viral through or will get an audience base and popularity through external sources, maybe none of them will, but I am not controlling that in any aspect. Versus if I'm like to actually put some effort into marketing it from my end, then I'm actually getting some of that power back, where it's in my hands to at least a good extent, where I can actually make a decent effort of pushing these good songs to more people and hoping that more people will listen to it and then
Right.
can grow from there.
Interesting. I think we're on the same page then.
Yeah.
Hannah? Because like even if we talk about Nadania, for instance, I know it. You had a very prominent hand from Universal, you know, to distribute it and everything. But song अच्छा नहीं होता तो शायद नहीं जाता वो.
Yeah, I mean, I've had plenty of friends and I've had experiences where you can put all the money in the world behind a song, but if people don't accept it, they don't accept it.
Correct.
तुम जितना उसे force feed करो नहीं चलेगा. So the primary thing is you make a good song, and I feel like all of these companies, labels, whatever, they can only amplify what is already working.
Correct.
You cannot force feed someone a song that they just don't like or they're just not accepting.
Yeah, then it's short lived.
या तुम कितना भी कर लो, वो जब तक तुम पुश कर रहे हो आएंगे.
हाँ.
तुम जैसे ही निकाल दोगे वो पुश, नंबर्स चले जाएंगे. It's just about that.
Yeah. You're there in the music industry for good 4-5 years now. For 2020, I saw your first song was in 2020.
Yeah.
It was an English song.
Yeah.
Okay,
First song
before-
2020, but realistically 2 years, I would say.
Acha, क्यों ऐसे? Like you're there in the industry. The moment you hit send for that song,
The moment you could download DistroKid.
it was a DistroKid से किया था.
DistroKid से किया.
Crazy. We'll come to that. Like, you know, there's like a set of songs that Akshat has in his discography. English songs है, and I सुन के मेरे को लगा कि why is he not doing English songs anymore?
Yeah.
Like, you have anything to add to it?
So I started with English because I had not even experienced writing in Hindi, and my Hindi had always been fairly weak in terms of मतलब the only exposure to Hindi apart from just speaking to people is school.
Right.
वहाँ पे मैं अच्छा नहीं था हिंदी में. So I was like, you know, that's not something I can do. It's not my skill set, so forget it. Let me try and write in English. So yeah, so I wrote in English, and then people liked that. So then I was like, you know, let's stick to this. But then after some time, even my family and like a couple of friends were like, why don't you try Hindi? You never know, you know, you might be able to write. Like you listen to Hindi music and everything. So लिख के देखो. So that's when I made Duniya for the first time.
Like, Duniya बहुत अच्छा song है, honestly.
Thank you, bro. Thank you so much. Even I get that a lot from my like really close friends who have been friends of mine for years.
Correct.
They still tell me Duriya is the best song. Like over Nadaniya, over all your new songs, Duriya is their favorite.
That was 2023 कि 22 का. Because I think जो English songs का जो era था तुम्हारा, उसके बाद Duriya was the first one. उसमें gap था थोड़ा.
हाँ.
है ना? Gap
time
था.
लगा था वो.
Time लगा था इसलिए कि इसने काफी मेहनत और time लगा के इसको किया है.
हाँ. बहुत.
I like the arrangement and everything on it.
Thank you, bro. That time my way of working was, I would say it's good, but also it comes with its negatives where. So I used to mix and master my own songs at that time. So for those first 5 songs, if I open my computer and I show you my laptop, bro, there are around, like for example, Duriya mix 50.
Okay.
And
50?
So 1 to 50, there are like 50 mixes of Duriya.
Okay.
And then there will be like some 20 masters of Duriya. So in total, there are like some 70 wave files per song. And it's Duriya 1, Duriya 2, Duriya 3, and it just goes on. And it's the like I hyper focused on the smallest of things, and it's like नहीं ये बदल सकते हैं until I reached a point where I realized that you cannot perfect a song. It's not a thing.
Yep.
But तब तक मैं ऐसे बस करते रहो. It used to drive me crazy. Which is why it would take so long also to release songs.
So I got diverted with your English wala era, which I miss. So my question to you is, कि you're there in the industry for a while now, 4-5 years now. Is there something that you wish you could change in the industry right now, music industry?
I would have had strong opinions about this question if I would have seen that the industry is stagnant. But luckily I feel like we are at a place where it's just beginning now. So matlab abhi it is so different from what it was 6 months back. 6 months back was so different from what it was another 6 months back. Like you would have seen, like
I know.
completely different. The terminologies also that you hear within the industry is like changing like this. And abhi 5 saal pehle, who would have thought that music outside of Bollywood would be dominating the way it is right now? Abhi tum top 10 charts dekho to it's more of non-film music, less of film music. Correct. So I don't have anything particular that I want to change because it's changing by itself so much and it's evolving a lot. So like things like this, like what you are doing, and things that I see outside of music but a part of the music is what shows me that it's a culture. So if I see just songs are being made, that's one thing.
Mhm.
But then you see, okay, there are podcasts happening. There are creators who are making things about the songs.
Correct.
There are cafes that their whole IP is to just have artists come and perform on these
Yeah.
particular days, right? And things like antisocial.
Yeah.
So you see, all of that is just when you realize, okay, there is a culture that is happening. And it's not just a few artists who like making songs. So I'm seeing that happen. So I have
Yeah,
nothing particular I'd want to change beyond
It's
that.
definitely changed in the last 3-4 years.
Yeah.
I went to this cafe recently in Juhu, Itara. Okay, so they had this coaster and it says scan this QR for a playlist. बोला कि I am very excited कि playlist का QR किसी ने रखा है कैफे में. मैं स्कैन किया तो उनकी indie songs की playlist थी वो. That they play
Wow.
and they just want to promote it. बोला कि this is crazy. I never expected this
Yeah.
like from a cafe in
That
India.
is very, very nice to see.
Yeah, and वो खुश एकदम like representative लगा मेरे को
Yeah.
काफी बहुत अच्छा लगा. Alright. Akshat singing for Bollywood. Is it happening?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll see.
कुछ है.
मतलब है भी नहीं भी.
अच्छा.
वो-
But what you want to do it?
I'd love to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Preferably in a way where it's my music, as me,
Right.
in a film versus a playback thing. But yeah,
It's nice.
definitely.
You know, when you say playback, when we were growing up, we had association of a singer with a actor. Like Saif Ali Khan had Shan, right? वैसे you think your voice goes with some actor?
I've never given it that kind of a thought only ever. Do you think my voice goes as an actor?
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a couple of actors it'll go with.
I feel like, but now when you look at playback, the importance of that similarity in voice is gone. Like, I don't think now artists are selected based on how close their voice is to the actor playing, but
Right.
which artist is suiting the song is the primary thing that they look at, is what I think.
Right. It used to be like that.
It used to be like that. It used to be a
पहले
lot
होता
like
था.
that.
Yep. Okay. A very deep question for you. Okay. Describe the rest of your life in 3 words.
Gratefulness, peace, happiness.
Nice. So, irrespective of what you're doing, where you at in life, you want these three things to be part of it.
Yeah. So the first one is something I very consciously try and
Yeah.
incorporate. Because if things are going south also for me sometimes, I just zoom out. And it's not always possible. Because sometimes things are not going well, you're not having a good day, you don't want to forcefully look at things a certain way.
Right.
But when I can, I try and zoom out and kind of just see where I am and see that I'm doing something I love.
You ground yourself.
Yeah, I ground myself and like, okay, you know what, I have more than most people could ask for. And that is just a privilege, and that is just something I've been blessed with. So that
Interesting.
gratefulness is something.
Does this come like in the recent year or?
I never thought about it. I was just a stupid kid. Just think I still am. But I try to kind of also, be a little more mindful about things now.
Now that you're saying, I think you are a spiritual person. Are you?
This is a question I ask myself also. I do have faith, but I feel like I keep it very personal in the sense the way you think about anything that you cannot actually physically feel or touch, right? Anything in the spiritual realm, religious realm, all of this is very personal to each his own, right? Like तुम्हारा जिंदगी कैसा जा रहा है, what kind of experiences you've had will decide how you feel about a lot of things, where the kind of surrounding you've grown up with. So I have just had moments where I have felt like, there is something watching over me, someone, but it's not in my it's not for me to figure that out. Like वो मेरे से नहीं होने वाला, वो हम में से किसी के साथ नहीं होने वाला. You can only just guess, that's why it's never ending question. But yeah, so I'm just at a place where I'm like, okay, there is someone or something watching over me, and that's where most of my gratefulness comes from.
Wow, interesting. I think we are very alike.
Yeah.
In that spectrum.
Even you.
Yeah. I totally believe in doing good and not expecting anything return, and just being nice to people around. We don't know what they're going through, or how
100%.
their day was. So just be nice.
Correct. 100%.
Yep. I have a set of questions. I don't want to call it rapid fire. You can take your time. But these are some things I personally want to know
Okay.
from you. Okay. This is very interesting. Rank your earning sources from top to bottom. I don't want to know the amounts. I just want to know, जैसे कि IPRS होता है, live shows होता है, different things.
So it would be live shows, music royalties, brand collabs, और क्या होता है? IPRS.
Yeah.
Those one with the bottom.
IPRS.
Yeah.
Nice, interesting.
And somewhere along in the middle is like production work and all. I produce for other artists also.
Wow.
For fun.
Something that we've heard that you can tell it out.
No, I just मतलब अभी शुरू किया वो. So I just do it for a
interesting here.
few friends of mine there. And then there are a couple of them which I wouldn't mention now.
Damn.
So yeah.
Very interesting. Akshat on production.
Yeah, it's something I just enjoy so much.
Yeah.
And you get to learn a lot when you produce with other artists in mind. Because they have a very different approach to making music than you would for yourself.
So you're like a Charlie put to our industry now.
I hope.
Nice. Okay. Most expensive thing you've recently bought?
Recently, yes, yesterday I bought a TV.
You bought a TV yesterday?
For my parents. So
nice.
Recent would be that, yeah.
Huge ass TV, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. 64 inch.
वो लोग गए थे कहीं मतलब for a trip or something, so I got for them.
Nice. Everyone should have a good TV.
Yeah.
The most interesting thing you've learned recently?
Most interesting thing I've learned recently.
Could be a hobby that you've picked up or something.
Off the top of my head, I have learned recently that pickleball is a very lame sport. I tried it.
Why everyone is catching on it?
Bro, it's like if you like don't want to make the effort to learn tennis, then you pick up pickleball has no learning curve.
Yeah.
Like you can just pick it up.
I've never tried.
Bro, so like table tennis you require accuracy.
Correct.
Right? Tennis you require power and accuracy. This you don't require either, or you require like very little of both.
Yeah.
तो तुम मतलब 5 मिनट खेलोगे समझ जाओगे.
Probably that's why everyone is catching on it.
Maybe.
है ना?
So that way it's good. Okay, it's your introduction to sports or something.
Yeah.
But it gets very boring very quick. So
you play table tennis?
I play table tennis and I play squash.
Nice. New things.
I tried picking up tennis, but dude, it's so easy to hit the ball out of the ground or out of the whatever it's called. कि फिर वो मतलब फिर लोग परेशान हो जाते हैं यार तू बार-बार हमें.
I always imagine lawn tennis to be a little easy. It's not.
No. At least I didn't find it easy.
I should
Maybe
try
some
it.
people
I
did.
should try it.
Bro, because the kind of like when the ball hits the racket, it's a mix of if you kind of touch it only, then it'll rattle the racket and it'll fall there. So then it won't be enough. So next time you'll overcompensate and you'll put all your energy and then it'll go out of this thing. So to get it to go right above the net, land in the box, it's a big challenge.
Damn. Okay, we are almost in 2025 now. 1-2 महीना. Do you have any New Year resolutions?
No, I used to do resolutions, but then A, that never worked.
Okay.
But then B also, it's like why to wait for year end to kind of have anything to change. So it's always like a constant, like an ongoing thing for me. Like if I really want to change something, then that can happen tomorrow also, and like say, no, let's just focus and do that.
But you used to do that.
I used to do that, it never worked. So मतलब ऐसे तो शुरू हुए थे.
Nice. Okay, are you someone who looks forward to a weekend or a Monday morning?
In this line of work, there is no weekend, there is no Monday morning. You're working, you can work throughout the weekend and you can take a break on a Tuesday. Like, so for me, it doesn't make much of a difference.
It's majorly deadlines or when the idea hits.
Yeah, it is a very flowy state. No, you're not like, thankfully, like I'm very grateful that it's not a 9 to 5 thing. So sometimes मेरे को नींद नहीं आ रहा है क्योंकि मैं एक मेलोडी चल ही रहा है दिमाग में. तो फिर मैं 2 से 6 के बीच में सुबह उठ बैठ के करूँगा उस पर, तभी आ रहा है दिमाग में, तब फ्लो हो रहा है. एंड कभी कभी वो पूरा मंडे निकल जाएगा, कुछ दिमाग में नहीं आया, कुछ ढंग का हुआ ही नहीं काम. So it's a very dynamic thing.
But you must have like a routine for yourself.
I do. I cannot survive without a routine.
Yeah.
Like I've tried, but that data thing comes there also. So I try and start work at a certain time. All of that.
Okay. A live performance where you were nervous.
My first ever band gig. So that was Spotify Radar.
Wow.
So they had just started. So they used to do these radar events in their office,
Mhm.
and then they moved it out.
Correct.
And this was the first one of those that was happening.
Yeah.
So this was in early 2023, and that was my first band gig for where it was
Wow.
just like
That was like a huge crowd. Or how was that?
good enough crowd. Antisocial so it was filled. Antisocial
Uh-huh.
was at capacity,
Right.
but it was like a point to prove to so many people that
Correct.
I can do this.
And all people from the industry.
All people from
majorly.
the industry,
Yeah.
other artists, audiences, like it's a mixed crowd,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
want to prove to all of them that you're not like a half-assed musician. एक कोई
Yeah.
drive रहता है कि
हाँ.
देखो मैं ये भी कर सकता हूँ. तो बहुत कुछ was riding on that.
Crazy. Do you have a pre-concert ritual?
My pre-concert ritual is nothing. We just like do when it's a band thing,
Mhm.
we just gather around, and then they go on stage, they set up the band,
Mhm.
and like I was telling you, when they start that music
Noor.
piece for Noor,
Yeah.
that's when I lock in. Then I'm good to go.
And when you're doing it alone, anything for yourself?
No, then it's just go and
Chill.
have fun.
You're all ready to perform anywhere.
Ready to perform, yeah.
No ritual.
नहीं
Crazy
हो
है
जाता है
भाई.
फिर.
Okay. One artist or celebrity you're dying to meet. Global.
John Mayer.
John Mayer. Why? I play guitar a little bit. His like picks are so different. Like I don't know, you can't pull it off. So many songs.
So many songs, 100%.
I don't know how he does it.
I spent a month or so in the lockdown,
Yeah.
and I learned neon entirely.
Wow.
Like with the finger
Yeah?
slapping, with the percussion, with everything.
Crazy.
Then I didn't do it for a few months, and now again it's difficult. But I mean, he has shaped a lot of my thoughts on songwriting, listening to
Yeah.
music. Are you a John Mayer guy?
Yeah, I watch his videos. He's telling people how to choose a guitar.
Yeah, his thoughts on life beyond just music are very
Correct.
fascinating.
Exactly.
He had this thing, I forgot what it's called, but he used to go live during the lockdown,
Mhm.
and he would just sit in front, no guitar, no music, no nothing. He'll just talk
Yeah.
to his audience. They'll write questions or whatever. He'll just answer them. He'll just talk, and it's not about him.
Okay.
He's just talking about life, and just the way he thinks very poetically. मतलब वो बात करते करते वो lyrics ही लगेगा वो. He just talks like that.
God.
So he's a very fascinating man to just listen to.
Yeah, I used to watch Ehsan sir a lot in lockdown. He used to
Yeah,
do
he used
a
to
lot
also
of
go live. Yeah.
live sessions, take people on live
Yeah, I
with him.
remember.
Were you there?
I used to watch. I
Yeah.
never went on.
Nice.
But
Very
yeah.
interesting. Okay. A non-music thing you're surprisingly good at.
Chess.
आज तो भाई बर्बाद कर दिया आज.
चेस पे मैंने सोचा लाइव स्ट्रीम कुछ करते हैं कभी.
Oh wow.
बट कैसे करना है, कब करना है, देखना पड़ेगा.
Interesting. I think your audience will love it
Maybe.
to discover this side
I
of
want
you.
to play with them. So I want to see how many of them are
Oh,
interested in
wow.
chess. So let's see. If you're watching this,
Yes.
let me know.
Grandmaster. Okay. This one's almost at the end of it. A voice memo from Nadania in your phone that never made it to the final song.
Oh, I will have it.
You will have it?
I should have it. These are all like, there are variations of the song that didn't make it to the
ये
final
सुनने
cut
में
also.
मजा आएगा सच में.
Rubbish lyrics, but yeah. Na, 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 kaise tu. That was like an idea.
Damn.
Never made it to the final cut.
Made history, bro. Crazy. Love it. Yeah. So we are into the last and final section of our episode
Okay.
where I ask you 3 songs that will be added to a playlist. The playlist is called Sounds Good,
Okay.
and it's for all the guests that appear on the podcast.
Okay.
You're going to give me 3 songs that you want to add to that playlist. Songs that are close to you.
And
Always.
indie, like non-film
Kuch
indie
bhi.
music or anything?
Kuch bhi.
Okay.
They cannot be your songs.
Okay.
Because I already have them on my playlist. Yeah.
Like that.
So yeah, give me 3 songs that are close to you, that mean something to you.
Is there like a type of playlist that's getting added, or just like 3 songs that I
Just
love
random.
right now?
People are going to go find and figure out कि अक्षत ने कौन सा song डाला है इसमें.
Okay, there's this one song from this Pakistani artist called Manu.
Okay.
So it's a song called, I'm sure you might have heard it, a song called For You. It's For You. If you haven't heard it, listen, it's beautiful.
Aaj.
Yeah, you should
Yeah.
listen to that for sure. That would be one. Second would be Heavy is the Ground,
Yeah.
Linkin Park.
Linkin Park.
100%. And this is for the sake of variety.
Mhm.
Okay. Third is Pink Floyd, Comfortably Numb, live in Pompeii.
Pompeii.
Yes.
Oh, bhai.
That would be the third.
Crazy. Bhai, I've recently restarted rewatching Pink Floyd videos just to see David Gilmour do what he does, and in different ages that he's done.
Yeah.
You know, recent shows, ekdam purana with long hair shows.
Yeah.
Sub.
Bro, now he's like one like cute old man, but like killing it on the guitar. You learn a lot of restraint from him.
Correct.
You know, like he spaces out his notes.
Hmm.
ऐसा नहीं है कि shred करना है, ऐसा नहीं है कि हर मतलब 16th note पे कुछ crazy कुछ बजाना है, ये कुछ नहीं. It's like a nice bend that will last like a full bar.
Exactly.
Then he just chooses his notes and it shows a certain confidence in his abilities that he has.
Like crazy, man.
Yeah.
Whoever saw them live ever.
That is one thing I
like.
I don't think that's ever happening. We'll never get to see.
Yeah. Okay. We have the last section.
Okay.
You can read it.
Never have I ever.
Yeah. Never have I ever with Akshat. Let's
So
go.
what do I have to do?
No, you just have to
say if I have or I haven't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never have I ever crashed a wedding.
I have.
You have?
Yeah. After our 10th standard farewell, we were all dressed in suits and like the girls were dressed in saris.
And you went to a wedding.
And we were like going somewhere. 10th था कि 12th था मेरे को याद नहीं है.
This
wedding
suit and sari is probably 10th.
Probably.
Yeah.
नहीं, but दोनों में ही सूट सारी तो दोनों में ही था हमारे लिए तो कंपलसरी था वो.
Right.
कैसे तो पहनना है. 12th था शायद. And then we saw a wedding and we were like, you know, we're dressed for it. We walked in, ate a few things, left.
मस्त दबा के खाया एकदम. Okay. Never have I ever broken someone else's heart.
I have. Maybe. It's not for me to say. Is their heart broken or not? Maybe.
God. Not a good space to be in for the other person. Never have I ever fought with a partner in public.
I have. I think concealed it well, but yeah, I have. Yeah.
होता है relationship.
होता है.
Never have I ever given someone a fake phone number.
I have.
ऐसा क्या हो गया भाई?
I mean, it depends on the context you ask. Like, it's a very innocent context that I'm talking about. Where it is.
I still want to know.
It's like most of these shops you go to, restaurants you go to.
Like that.
That is one thing.
Like that.
But also, there are sometimes, people come to me, like if they recognize me or something, and they मतलब मेरे से पूछते हैं कि, you know, let's talk, वगैरह, let's do this and all. And like sometimes they have some business that they want me to promote, for example.
Right.
Okay? And it'll be like they are like running a bakery or something. वैसा कुछ करना है. कुछ भी context हो. If I don't want to do it, I'm too nice of a person to be able to say कि listen, like no.
Yeah.
So
you
just like
एक digit गलत दे दिया.
एक digit गलत दे दिया, कुछ भी दे दो.
मैंने भी किया है. I can't say who.
वो बोल दोगे तो ये episode hit है.
नहीं. I can say it's an artist. Okay. Never have I ever been on a blind date.
I haven't.
नहीं. इंडिया में ज़्यादा चलता नहीं है शायद.
चलता नहीं और मतलब मेरे दोस्तों पे मेरे को भरोसा नहीं है किसके साथ क्या सेटअप कर दे चाहिए नहीं.
Okay. Never have I ever said I love you without feeling it.
I have.
You have?
I have.
Love you.
कभी.
Yeah.
ऐसे ही जिसको देख लिया स्ट्रीट पे
yeah. Nice. But just I think this is done. But I want to. How is your like rapport with your fans? Like you interact with a lot of your fans. I seen you reply to YouTube comments even on Instagram.
It's not enough. I feel like I want to get to know them a lot more.
Yeah.
This feeling of a community is such a wholesome feeling for everyone who is a part of it.
Correct.
It's just a win-win situation for everyone if I'm able to like bolster that more, make it stronger, make it more tight knit.
You want to do more for them.
I want to do more.
इसलिए chess maybe.
You know,
just be more connected.
Like, yeah, talk to them more.
Yeah,
like go on live streams more often. It's just a lot of things that I can be doing that I probably will do. But yeah, I really want to get to know them more. So
Wow. Yep. So we are at the end of this, and I'm glad we did this.
yeah, bro, thank you for having me.
I hope maybe again we sit somewhere here on somewhere
Yes.
else on Earth with
Yeah, for sure.
more experiences.
Yep, 100%.
Maybe after 5 years you come after breaking so many records on different charts
That
globally.
time this podcast will be too big to have me.
Oh my god, he's just being too kind and humble right now. Anyways, thank you so much for
Thank
doing
you,
this.
bro. Thanks
Yep.
for having me, man. Chalo.
Yep.